Spring is here and April is just around the corner. I thought what better time than to learn how to paint an Easter lily. This is a flower that I think I've only painted once before, but once you learn the basics of flowers, even if you're starting something new or a flower you're not very familiar with, you realize it's all the same basic shapes, all the same techniques, just constructed slightly different, varying with the flower. What we want to do with our white flowers is pick a reflection color. So let's say if I was painting a bigger floral and maybe there's a lot of vibrant greens, I might want to pick a yellowy green to be my reflection color for my white flowers. So you're using a lot of water to really dilute it, but you would use this super watered down green to create the base of your flower, so it's not just a standard white paint on white paper, or clear water isn't going to show up on paper either. So you want to pick a reflection color, and today I'm going to pick a more, I'm going to use this kind of like bluey purple. It doesn't necessarily matter. You could pick a pink tinge, you could do a yellow tinge, just really whatever colors you want to bring through in that white. And yeah, I'm gonna pick this bluey purpley color. So water it down. I'm just gonna create the first petal, mostly using the water, and we might go through with a little bit extra paint in a second, but let's get started. Let's go for our second petal. Really using the belly of the brush, you don't have to be scared to press your paper down. All right, next we are gonna go in with a little bit more of this color over here, so it's a little bit less watered down, and we're just gonna go around the tips of the flower. These little lines you're putting down the center, make sure they all directly point towards where our center flower is going to be. So this line, you're not going to want to have it coming here. You want it coming directly to this point that we're going to work from. This one coming directly from that same point, and so on. I want to move quickly to keep this wet because I want some more paint to bleed from the center in just a second. Next, we are going to go to the center again. While this is still wet, maybe adding even a little bit more water here. I'm going to go in with a vibrant green yellow color. So I'm going to use my MaimeriBlu green gold. Maybe even adding a little bit of yellow ochre just to kind of mute it a little bit. Not so intense. Just giving a little bit more shape to these, because as your watercolor dries, it's going to dry a little bit lighter than it originally shows up. I'm going to add some sap green to my green gold mixture. Add a little bit of brown in there. This is burnt umber. Add that right to the center. Let's go ahead and add our stem real quick. I'm going to use a mixture of sap green and green gold, maybe a touch of my blue, and if the center of our flower here, we want the stem to appear as though it's coming right from there. So you don't want to be here, you don't want to be there, you want to be right there, but you don't necessarily want a straight line either. So make sure to add some curve to your stem. I'm gonna go ahead and add a leaf. Let's come back to the center of the flower. I'm going to switch my brush using my more detailed brush. Added a little extra water to get that to bleed just a little bit so it's not so distracting. For some of these finishing touches, we're going to go in with a mixture of a little bit of red, a little bit of orange, and some burnt umber. Thank you so much for joining for this tutorial. Our Easter lily is now complete. I hope you enjoy. If you aren't already subscribed, make sure to do that. And also, if you're on Instagram or TikTok, I have the same username across all social media, so I hope to see you over there, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!